Probably not that crazy, but
You could at least got one I would have liked. Passion fruit, lychee,
no.
Thai iced tea.
Maybe jasmine. About as good as you would think it is.
Welcome back to Roaming the World with you. We are in Chicago, a city with a rich history and endless things to do.
Known for its architecture and jazz music and deep dish pizza. There's a lot to explore.
In today's video, we are going to take you along with us as we see all the iconic spots in Chicago. It's fall, so grab a jacket and come with us. Before we explore the iconic spots, it is brunch time for us, so we're gonna go grab some brunch and then we're gonna walk downtown to the Chicago Architecture Center because that's where Sean wants to visit. So that's going to be our first stop. I got the Mexican chorizo Benedict.
This is sunny side up. Just like the pizza, it's too much tomato. So much tomato.
You haven't had the pizza yet.
I have. It's good, just way too much tomato. Look at that. Look at that.
The poet Carl Sandburg wrote about Chicago as city of the big shoulders. To accommodate a burgeoning population, local builders employed a house frame made of lightweight lumber and nails, as easy to set aloft as a balloon. On October 8, 1871, a fire sparked and roared into an inferno a mile wide and 3 miles long north to south. When the winds abated 2 days later, more than 17,000 buildings were destroyed. Surviving structures offered lessons. The wooden balloon frame buildings had aided the fire spread, while brick, stone, and terracotta withstood the flames. Emerging innovations, fireproofed iron, steel frames, and safe passenger elevators allowed Chicago buildings to climb above 5 stories. The rise of the skyscraper had begun. Earlier Chicago buildings, while incorporating bold, playful ornamentation and dramatic symbolism. But as the 20th century came to a close and the population of Chicago neared 3 million residents, the city was faced with a new challenge: how to use design to remake the city's fabric once again, this time to better serve the needs of city residents. Public spaces have become fundamental elements of a vibrant, livable city in the 21st century. Chicago, the city of architecture. Come explore it with us. You'll never see the city the same way again.
What did you think of the video?
It was great. It was amazing. It was really good. I think it was a good primer for the rest of Chicago. Or for these little cottages. To the flats. Kind of look like brownstones.
That's what I was thinking, that it looked like brownstones.
Brownstone is. And then the bungalow feels like Long Island, New York. Or Queens. Probably looks like Queens. This is basically like project buildings. But courtyard buildings sounds nicer. And then you have the high rises, which it's a whole cityscape. It's a whole skyline. I used to study architecture, so I wanted to come to the architecture center. The architecture center. I find buildings interesting still. I'm not an architect. Dad used to design buildings, so I guess I got some of that. So I love looking at it and learning about it. So many. That's all we need. Oh, there's even more.
Yeah, so it's 1,000 Chicago women.
So I guess if you agree to each one of these things, take a ball and you put it in this hole, and that's your vote.
Oh, I like that.
Apparently people are really big fans of these two.
What are those?
Indoor gardens, public market. So I guess these are the things that are likely to happen.
That'd be a nice coffee table book. That's pretty.
I don't have a coffee table. The Sagrada Familia.
I like this. This is a good book.
We're in Millennium Park. We're going to Cloudgate, which is also called the Bean, most often called the Bean.
Like most people know it as the Bean, but technically the name is Cloudgate, which is interesting.
Yeah, we're at the Bean. There's so many people here that's hard to like get a good shot, and it's like it was different the last time I was here. It was kind of like blocked off. It's just like a big mirror with a bunch of fingerprints on it. So yeah, we're gonna walk around the park some more. There's some other stuff here that I think is like quite honestly more interesting. Like a building over here that looks like a Frank Gehry building. So I just want to look around. There's a lot more of the city to see.
Sean, do you want to tell them about the last time you came to Chicago?
I came to Chicago a few years ago for Pokemon Go Fest, and I took a bus overnight, and then I stayed here for a full day, then took a bus overnight again. So it was different, but this was like before the pandemic and everything. Yeah, it was cool. I just got to see a little bit of downtown, so I'm not new to Chicago, but it's good to see more. I have more time here now, so I'm gonna see more. I was talking about earlier is the concert stage. So I think it's purposely looking like the famous Frank Gehry building, which is like that big opera house that looks like crumpled up paper, basically. This area is like where they hold concerts and stuff. There's a St. Jude benefit concert event happening tonight. It's very cool that it's here.
We found a garden. It's called Lurie Garden, Lurie. It's not very lush right now, I guess, because it's fall and about to transition to winter. But it's still pretty. It's a garden.
We're at Giordano's. We're gonna get some deep dish Chicago style pizza. So it's one of the things you gotta do when you're in Chicago. That's what we're gonna do. We couldn't actually get a reservation to sit at the restaurant, so we're just gonna go back to the room because we already ordered some. It takes like an hour to make apparently, so we can't just like show up and go. We'd be sitting there for an hour, and I don't even know if they have tables, so that's why we're just doing some takeout. We've secured the goods. It's time to eat.
Oh, yo, so we got the pizza. Look at these cute plates. To balance it out, though, because this is a lot of pizza. We also got a Caesar salad. So I've had, like, frozen deep dish pizza before. I've never had fresh deep dish pizza. Or what do they call it here? Stuffed Italian pizza or something like that. So they have a smaller size, that's like a personal size, that's 6 inches, and this was, let's see. Is it still hot?
It's losing heat every minute now.
Now, do I eat it with a knife and fork?
You'll find that it's probably better to eat it with a knife and fork. But for the first bite, you should try to eat it like it's actually a pizza.
So So it's the regular traditional, what is it? Mushrooms, pepperoni, green peppers, and onions. It's good. Nothing to write home about. Put some red pepper. Would I come to Chicago, all the way to Chicago, to get this? No. If I was in Chicago, would I get this? Yes. Is it better than New York pizza?
No.
It's not better. It's different, but it's not better. Like, this is a full meal. New York pizza is like a snack. Like, well, at least a slice of New York pizza is like a snack. A slice of this is like a meal. What do you think?
I mean, this is heavier for sure, but like a slice of this is like 2 New York slices. It's great bread bowl lasagna.
Bread bowl lasagna. I don't think the Chicagoans who are loyal to their pizza would appreciate that.
Let us know if you don't like that in the comments.
Also, if you've had both New York style pizza and Chicago style pizza, which do you prefer? I know they're different, but which do you prefer? Isn't it Detroit style pizza too? I think there's Detroit. Isn't that the square one? That's Detroit style pizza. We're gonna eat our pizza and
enjoy Rush Hour 3.
And this may be the night. This may be it for tonight. We'll see. There's a casino down the block. Yeah. So I may convince him to go out and spend a little money. After a few more bites, I realized that I don't like the crust. The crust doesn't have enough flavor. I'm not sure if it was because, I'm not sure why. If it's the water or whatever. And there's pepperoni in it, but you don't even realize there's pepperoni in it. So it's just like, it's too many of the other ingredients to enjoy the part of pizza, which is one of my favorites, which is the pepperoni. What I do like about it is I think the sauce is really good. And I like the cheese because I love cheese.
Let us know if tomatoes are in abundance in Illinois. Because I don't know, but they have good tomatoes and a good tomato sauce. Pizza and Italian food is like a big deal here.
Maybe.
Just like it is in New York because of the Italian history too. So
I do have another note. This Caesar salad is delicious. I know Caesar salads are simple, and I don't know if the dressing's house-made, if the cheese is house-made. I don't know. Don't care, but it's absolutely delicious. So it was worth actually, it wasn't even that expensive for the salad. But you like the Caesar salad?
Yeah, it's about...
You munching real loud on this camera.
It's good.
And so we got the small. I'll show you. And it was how many slices? 6? 2, 4, 6 slices. There's 2 more slices left. I definitely am done. Are you going to be able to eat those last 2 slices?
I can eat one more.
I got like the classic bacon, egg, and cheese. We're heading over to 360 Chicago, which is on the 94th floor of the John Hancock Center, one of the tallest buildings in the city. This place has been a Chicago icon since it opened back in 1969, and it's known for its unique X-brace design, which actually lets the building stand strong against the famous Chicago winds. From up here, you can see how massive Lake Michigan really is. It's one of the largest freshwater lakes in the world and stretches all the way past the horizon. You can also see the panoramic view of Chicago's history unfolding right in front of you. You've got the old Chicago Water Tower, one of the few structures that survived the Great Chicago Fire of 1871, and of course, all of the modern skyscrapers that define Chicago's skyline today.
This is a pretty city. I mean, I think we take New York for granted. A lot of people feel that way about New York, but seeing it from this angle is way different. We should really go to the Empire State Building. We don't. You can.
We're going to make a community post and go vote if we should go be a tourist for a day in the city. I've never been to the Empire State Building. I've never been to the South Joe Library. I've never done any of those things. So we should go do that and make a video. Go to our community post and go or comment. And if you are interested for an additional cost, you can do the tilt, which is where you actually lean out over the city. It's a newer feature, but it fits right into Chicago's spirit of pushing boundaries.
I think it was cool. For $12, I don't know if that's worth it. But I mean, mostly you can look out or you can look down. If you look out and you're scared of heights, I think you'll be fine. If you look down, like that might bother you a little bit, but you feel so safe and stable on the thing. So it's like, at no point do you feel like you're gonna fall, but you can see straight to like where the parking area is and like the side of the building. So it's like, if you get vertigo or anything like that, then yeah, maybe.
After a little bit of a walk, after leaving 360 Chicago, we've made it to Lakeshore Drive. I don't know what the actual area is called. But it's between Concrete Beach and Ohio Beach. And I'm gonna show you all. You would think this is the ocean, but this is actually the lake, Lake Michigan. It's so pretty. I was telling Sean that I would love to come back here during the summer to spend the day and or the weekend at Lake Michigan because it just looks so pretty. So we're just sitting here, people watching. We're gonna walk towards the Navy Pier, which is in the distance. And right now I see a Ferris wheel and I don't know what else is over there. But let me show you Lake Michigan. And there is the other beach right there and the Ferris wheel.
Take off permitted. All right.
So this is referred to as the Chicago lakefront, and it stretches around 26 miles, which is pretty long. And Lake Michigan is the second largest of the Great Lakes, and it's really big. And the water, even though it's a freshwater lake, it's so blue. I'm gonna get a close-up so you can see, but it's just gorgeous. And there's boats out here. Here comes a little yacht right now. I think maybe it's a yacht, maybe it's not. And there, like I mentioned, 2 beaches, like where we're at right now between the 2 beaches, but there are 26 public beaches along the lake, and they all have different vibes. Like some are more bar and like nightlife-y, and some are just really chill and relax. So there's a lot of options for you if you decide to come and spend the day at Lake Michigan. Also, the area where we're sitting is called the Lakefront Trail. So this is where people are riding their bikes, getting their runs in, and walks in as well along this entire trail. So I don't know where you rent the bikes from. It must at least be some point along this that you can rent bikes, but we haven't seen it yet. To know if the water is cold, warm, or hot. So Sean is trekking to go find out slowly but surely. But it can't be that bad because there's definitely people in the water.
I hate walking in sand. Ugh. It's cold.
Can't be that cold, people in it.
Feels good, but it's cold. We are outside of the Butterfly House, which we're not going to, but fun fact, this is only open in October. Didn't know that. I'm sure it's great for the kids. But we are gonna go to the Navy Pier, which is Chicago's second most popular tourist destination that I have not heard about before today. So I'm going to learn about the Navy Pier, I guess. There's a lot of beautiful buildings on this side of Chicago. But yeah, we just basically walked from down lakefront to here. So let's check out Navy Pier.
There are lots of things to do or attractions here at the Navy Pier. They're a little expensive. So for example, the Ferris wheel behind me is $21 a person, and every activity is individually priced. So if you decide to come and do them, it's good to know. We will show you what they all cost. You can be prepared and plan accordingly. But we're gonna also show you what else there is. There also is a merry-go-round, a swingy, like you sit in the swings and you go in a circle, 2 drop towers, and mini golf, a wave swinger, light tower, teacups. There's a lot of things to do here.
We were trying to go to the Luminarium, but it's closed temporarily, so we're not gonna go today. But it looks really cool. I would have paid for that.
First off, pretty sure I'm stuck. Second, I didn't realize there's a Margaritaville here, so you can get a margarita to go and walk the pier. Okay, Sean, help me. But we're walking along the lakefront trail towards the Chicago Riverwalk to check out the views. We'll actually be going along the river a little bit later on a architecture tour. But yeah, there's a walking path, a bike path. Looks like these paths converge too. There's like different. We're just doing a leisurely stroll back towards our hotel. This is the Riverwalk. So we walked from the Navy Pier along Lakeshore Walkway. What is it called? Walkway?
Lakeshore Drive.
Wait, that's gonna bother me. Lakefront Trail.
There you go.
Trail to the Chicago Riverwalk, which is where we're sitting right now.
And it's also known as the city's second shoreline.
And so, as you may know, Chicago is known for its movable bridges. Also, as you're walking along this, you'll see river boat tours and people are kayaking. This guy was in like a bike-looking kayak. You've seen some jet skis. So if you're a water activities type of person, there's tons of options too.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room.
We didn't think that floating down the Chicago River on a nighttime architecture tour would be one of the best ways to experience the city, but it definitely is. First, the view at night is next level. All the buildings lit up are truly incredible. It just gives the city a glow. Then you get up close to some of the most famous buildings in Chicago's skyline, from the historic Tribune Tower to the Sears Tower. Do not refer to it as the Willis Tower. And each one has a story. And you just learn things that you never noticed just walking around the city. And if you get a great tour guide like us who knows everything about Chicago, you learn so much history. For example, did you know that the 4 stars on the Chicago flag each represent huge moments in the city's history? There's Fort Dearborn, the Great Chicago Fire, the World's Columbian Exposition, and the Century of Progress Expo, all events that shaped the city into what it is today. And it's also really relaxing, right? You're just cruising down the river, soaking in the views and the history, and you don't have to do anything. Plus, the perspective from the water makes you feel like you're seeing a whole new side of the city.
But that's alright. Hush.
She was telling us the story of the Chicago fire that they all know. Everyone knows where the fire started, but nobody knows what caused the fire. And then the guy told us a story about a cow kicking something that caused the fire. Well, yeah, because they said that they needed a reason for the fire. So whoever came up with the best story the quickest got to make the reason. And then there was something else that was interesting. Oh, yeah, she's also telling us what the 4 stars of the Chicago flag means. I don't remember any of that. One was the fire.
One is the World Fair.
Oh, okay. So apparently during the World Fair, I can't remember, the 19-something World Fair, the showcase, the brownie. So the brownie was created here at a hotel that is not far from where we are. And I feel like we need to do a side mission and go taste this brownie. The recipe is online. I'll link it. We'll put it in the description. But I feel like we got to go to the hotel where the original brownie was created. Don't you all? Like, side mission?
The Windy City, the name comes from a reporter from New York who called it the windiest city with these windbags.
Yeah, that was funny.
So yeah, they got our name from us. But yeah.
Building with these very interesting balconies. The first thing I learned about that building, those balconies spell out the building's address in Morse code.
Ah.
The second thing I learned about the building, that's not true.
We're done with the tour. I would say, in my opinion, I would recommend, it's a good way to see the city. You get to see a lot of the buildings, you get to see a lot of boats, a lot of bridges, and it's just a beautiful, I mean, especially at night, I think like the lights kind of helped it like look even cooler. I'd recommend it, especially if it was like, if you're into architecture or even if you're into just history, it's interesting. I would say we normally see a city through a food tour or maybe a different type of tour, but now we're seeing it through a boat tour. Mostly about the architecture. At the end of it, they talked about how the river was originally flowing east and then it started flowing west because they blew up the dam. So before they were funneling all of the trash and all of the waste into the Lake Michigan, when they reversed the flow of the river by blowing up that dam, it sent all of the waste into the Gulf of Mexico. And apparently they were sued repeatedly for doing that. And eventually they had to put the dam back up. So that was interesting.
Just like the deep dish pizza, we couldn't come to Chicago without trying the Italian beef and the Chicago dog. So we're at Portillo's because it was one of the most well-known spots when I researched it. But after I decided we were gonna come here, I did see some controversy around what truly is the best spot. So if you have another recommendation for the next time you come to Chicago, drop it below.
We've got French fries, cheese sauce. We've got, I think it's this dog. Oh yeah, it's a hot dog. Oh, that's hot. Oh, this is a sandwich. I think it's like the the Italian beef sandwich. Ooh, that's some greasy.
Okay.
This is either sausage? Yeah, it's sausage. But there's no topping. I think we got more toppings on
I
it.
just want mustard.
Okay, alright. Alright, let's have some fun. The bread's a little soggy, but
Because it's dipped.
that makes sense. It's good. It's not very salty. I mean, I don't think I got any pepper with that bite. Let me see if I get another. I mean, it's good. You can eat this every day if you want. Is this like, are these like poppy seeds on the
I think so.
on the bun? That's cool. So yeah, this is the classic hot dog. It's got mustard, pickle, tomatoes, onions, green pepper, probably a bunch of other things that I don't know, and whatever's in a hot dog. Wow, it's a symphony of flavor.
That a good wow?
Delicious, yeah.
That's a good wow?
No, it's good. It's a good hot dog.
Okay, so you came here for both because they sell both, but which one would you come here to get?
I come for the hot dog. That hot dog juicy.
Okay, let me try. This hot dog does look delicious. I love hot dogs. But in full transparency, I like my hot dogs very simple with mustard and sauerkraut. And I don't like pickles or tomatoes. But when in Rome, you have to eat it as the Romans do. So here we go. Your hot dog is delicious.
Right.
And if you like pickles, you'll like this. There's nothing bad about this. It's simple. It's literally this beef that's been slow cooked for like 7 hours, I think they said. We added sweet peppers. We do also have cheese sauce on the side, but we wanted to try it as classic as possible. Good.
You like that better? No way.
I like this better. I think I would like the hot dog better if it didn't have all the condiments because I don't like those condiments.
I love it.
Okay, well, you get to have the hot dog and I can eat this. But before we stop, I also got just like a sausage because I heard that the sausages here are good. So I have mustard on the side, but I'll just try it plain. Take some of this bread off.
The Lord intended.
All right. Oh my god. This sausage is delicious. It's spicy, so you may not like it, Sean. But it's like crispy and crunchy and juicy. This is good. It's just sweet tea.
I know. The sausage is good. It's not too spicy.
Oh.
I think it's good. I would eat that. The hot dog's my favorite by far. That surprised me.
Oh, we didn't try this. Try the fries.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just regular crinkly fries.
People got criteria for these things. It's important. It's cold, first of all. Alright. See, it tastes a little bit like McDonald's fries, which I don't love.
McDonald's don't have crinkly fries.
They don't have crinkly fries, but it tastes like McDonald's. I was about to say it tastes like Burger King, but it don't. It ain't that good. All right, a little bit of cheese, if you please. Let's see if this is not my favorite sandwich now. Wow.
Really?
Woo.
You already claimed the hot dog.
That cheese is something special.
Sorry, but you already claimed the hot dog.
I'm just saying, cheese is good. The cheese is good. Cheese would be the star of the show in this equation. Let me just make sure I take all this cheese off before you get another bite.
You see how half the sandwich is gone?
You weren't supposed to point that out.
This is the end of our time in Chicago. I really enjoyed being in Chicago, even though we've only gotten to explore such a small part of it. The next time we come back, because I heard that some of the best places are outside of like the little downtown area where we're staying.
All right, my favorite thing about Chicago was probably the buildings, the architecture. I really like Millennium Park and the Bean or Cloud Fair, as it's called, and the buildings. The buildings were the best part for me, I think. Just in general, the architecture.
Okay, that's it. That is our weekend in Chicago. Chicago really has this mix of history and modern energy that just pulls you in. And so if you had fun tagging along and you like our content, don't forget to hit like, comment, subscribe, and come back for our next adventure. Thanks for watching.